Imagine having a guy on your team that can go and get 60 points on 5 or 10 dribbles. A guy who's scored 37 in a quarter. Especially if you are the defending world champs, and you have a player of that caliber. Wait, do they already have him? What if he comes back better than ever next season? Let's get deep into this, but before going straight to the content, here is the brand new information on the channel, is that 3 lucky winners will get a chance to win PS5. Only you have to comment your views on Warriors next season in the comments section below. Let's start today's topic. The Warriors completed their revenge season with an NBA championship after becoming a brief laughingstock of the NBA for at least that 1 year when they won only 15 games in the historic 2020 NBA season. And even a year later when they missed the playoffs, though winning a lot more than 15 games. What a difference one man makes. Okay, maybe 2 guys, because Steph, like Klay, missed virtually all of the 19-20 season due to a broken hand. But we know just how different these Warriors were in the 2 years Klay Thompson sat out because of his torn ACL. He suffered in Game 6 of the 2019 NBA Finals and then a devastating Achilles tear he suffered while working out privately in 2020. Early in 2022, that man. The man who has done, literally, some things no other player has ever done. That man returned to the Warriors lineup early in 2022 and the Bay fans were instantly reminded of some of the greatest moments in recent franchise history. The Warriors without Klay Thompson were forced to entertain a different dimension in their scoring attack. So, they did just that by drafting guys like Jordan Poole, Jonathan Kuminga, and James Wiseman, among a couple of key free agent acquisitions to help keep the boat afloat during Klay's absence. And those pieces, at least from what it looks like, have paid off big time. Guys like Poole and Andrew Wiggins were critical cogs in the Warriors' dynamic scoring offense. And other young guys stepped up and showed flashes of great potential. When you miss more than 2 years of live 5-on-5 NBA basketball, any player would need several months to get their feet back underneath them. Even though Klay dropped 17 points in his return and had vintage Klay games early on in his return like the performance against the Bucks when he dropped 38 points, it became clear that Klay was still working his way back and still a ways away from returning to the Klay of old. Especially in the playoffs and the NBA Finals where, although Klay had some stellar performances like his Game 6 against the Memphis Grizzlies, some subpar performances resulted in fans wondering if Klay would ever return to an All-NBA level. We have to remember, Klay Thompson was an elite perimeter defender before the 2 major lower extremity injuries he suffered in back-to-back years. While his size and IQ give Klay an edge as a capable defender, he likely won't be defending at that level ever again. Especially now that Klay is entering his age 33 seasons and the Warriors need his explosive scoring ability at the forefront. Injuries can rob a marksman of a lot of things, but never his shooting ability. Klay, even before turning 30 years old, already proved himself as arguably the second greatest three-point shooter of all time. Do I even need to list off some of his all-time epic performances? 37 points in a quarter with 9 three-pointers, and 60 points in 29 minutes. The record for the most three-pointers in a playoff game. Yeah, you get the point. It's kind of what's made guys like Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, heck, even Mike Miller productive for so many years because of their rare range shooting abilities. Klay will always be invaluable because he can do all of that I just mentioned. This summer is a huge time for Klay and even the Warriors. For Klay, he'll finally get to work out and work on his game without any physical limitations or worrying about delaying his rehab. He is healthy, coming off a finals run and title, and now gets the opportunity to rewire his game this summer to resemble the old Klay we all knew and loved. And if does just that and comes out even better than he ever was, at least offensively, the rest of the league seriously needs to watch out. This is the same team that, although it caught some breaks in the postseason due to injuries to opponents, won the NBA title after all, and that's without Klay being Klay. Klay's return to a full season of NBA action will likely be assisted greatly thanks to the emergence of another perimeter-oriented player that can rise from anywhere on the court and bring the house down. The rise of Jordan Poole, among the other youngsters for Golden State, will prove deadly in combination with a returning, fully acquainted Klay in the lineup. Poole will inevitably take some of the scoring load off Steph and Klay and even lead the team in scoring throughout stretches of the season. We already got a pretty good glimpse of the Warriors' offense with 3 brilliant scorers when they led the team to back-to-back chips several years ago. And no, Jordan Poole isn't remotely what KD was for the Warriors on offense, but you can't tell me that he doesn't possess a similar dynamic scoring ability that can spark a quick 10 or 12-point Warriors run. Besides, if Poole does take a pretty significant leap from a production standpoint next season and is inserted as the second scoring option for the Dubs, that could mean even better for Thompson, who, statistically, had his best season as the third option to Steph and KD. Man, how many teams in the history of basketball can say they had a third option on the team capable of giving them 50 points on any given night? This team can be special, especially if their young stars begin their expected rise to stardom soon, and as the team organically begins to take the younger approach and fill the roster with young, fresh legs around the likes of Steph, Klay, Draymond. And speaking of Steph, how can we dismiss the former unanimous MVP and how he's still climbing to new heights even as he prepares to enter his age 35 season? At 34 years old, Steph became the all-time NBA king of three-point shooting when he broke Ray Allen's record back in December. At 34 years old, Steph led his team to their fourth NBA championship in 7 years and took home the first Finals MVP award of his all-time great career. And he did it while averaging more than double the number of points than his second and third leading scorers combined. That's not to dismiss the key all-around play from Andrew Wiggins and Klay. But what Steph did in the 2022 NBA Finals was magical, and magical indeed was his 43-point spectacle despite the vicious Boston crowd looking to tear the roof down if their team pulled out the victory and took a commanding 3-1 lead. But Steph happened, the Warriors happened, and the Warriors' formula for domination even in the back end of Steph and Klay's primes may have been discovered, now that they have several young pieces to go along with them. And of course, Draymond deserved some recognition here too, because after all, he is the engine that makes these Warriors go offensively and defensively. His grit, tenacity, and raw basketball IQ are invaluable to the Warriors' success and how they can implement their game plan. Things like calling out screens, setting screens, recognizing the opposing offensive attack, providing Steph and Klay open looks at threes. That is what Dre brings to the table, and why he's been the heart and soul of this Warriors dynasty throughout all these years. Coming off of a season in which he took home Most Improved Player of the Year honors, Klay has the blueprint and certainly the confidence to build off what he regenerated last season. Let's call last year the year Klay was getting his legs back underneath him and give teams a glance at the kind of fireworks the Warriors offense is getting ready to display come next season. And speaking of next season, the Warriors will reportedly open the season against LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers, the night they'll be awarded their championship rings. So, what better way for Steph, Klay, and company to go out on the opening night and send a message against LeBron and LA after getting their rings? Plus, Klay wasn't around when the two teams opened up the 2021-22 season, so he'll love the opportunity this time around. And the Warriors fans will likely love what they'll see, again, from their defending world champion Warriors, with the team entering the season with arguably the best trio of dynamic scorers in the entire NBA. Steph is Steph. Klay is going to be back and in full force. Wiggins, Poole, James Wiseman, all ready to take it up another level or two. And Chase Center is going to be rocking all year long. I don't know about you, but that sounds scary. Significant injuries often make us forget what type of player a superstar was before going down. In Klay's case, his story is inevitably going to go down as one of the great comeback stories in NBA history, as he gets ready to embark on the quest to defend last season's title and remind the world of the type of nuclear ability he possesses from the perimeter. Steph and Klay, these guys are going to be magic next season. So what do you think about the Warriors' future? Do let us know in the comments section below and get a chance to win a brand new PS5. If you enjoyed watching the video, do like and share, and yes, don't forget to hit that notification bell. Thank you so much.